corporate professionals, small business owners, musicians, construction workers, mothers, all kinds of folks. And we all knew about the global movement for these local gardens, community gardens that are happening. Decided to get involved. One of my favorite examples is Tokyo, where the city is so covered in concrete that people started going to the roofs to make gardens to grow plants and flowers. And this not only created a source of food in the community, but it also helps clean the air in the city, which is crucial in the congested areas. Havana also has an impressive network of community gardens, and they've been super resourceful, not only as a way to produce food, which they need, but also to develop the confidence that the self-reliance creates, and it's much more important in the challenging situation that they're in. And also, Cuba has an impressive number of examples of how you can reuse materials like tires or old tools to create produce, because it really is that simple. Probably the most famous of the urban gardens is the White House kitchen garden. The First Lady has done a lot to promote gardens, make people aware of it, with a focus on how easy it is to grow, how you can be healthy, save money, so you can have a positive impact on the environment. And it's something that, as we looked at it, there's all these additional benefits to gardening and reasons that people get involved. But I think that a big reason for the growing trend is that as soon as somebody touches a plant or smells good soil, you realize how much you've missed it. And many of you are smiling just looking at a photo of sunflowers, because it's that natural connection that we have that a lot of us have lost. But in all of these reasons, what we were looking at was we wanted good food that was healthy, that was organic, that tasted good, and we could make available to ourselves. So we started looking at that and how it could be possible for us. So this group, like I said, we weren't really friends. We just ran into each other frequently, but it was by chance. And we wanted this food. We had this challenge. So we started to discuss it, and we realized that if we could have this food, and now we knew these people with similar interests, we could have introverts. I really know who doesn't like making new friends over good food. So for us, those were the two benefits that were our catalyst to start this garden. So first we had to find land for the garden. None of us had it. And we knew of a house that has land in the neighborhood that had been for sale for a long time. So we approached the owner, we made our proposal to do this community garden, and luckily he agreed. The owner is not a gardener. He stops by once in a while, he likes to show friends, and his real estate agent has told him she believes that the garden increases the value of that property. Next, we have to learn how to garden. None of us had a real experience in gardening. And when you start looking at the information, it's really overwhelming. People are so passionate about it, there's all this information out there. But really, to get started, you need one book. And it could be any book. The one we found was best was Square Foot Gardening. And with this book, anyone, anywhere, can make a backyard garden. It really is that simple. And I'll tell you how. So with the information from the book, we selected the fruits, the vegetables, the herbs, and the flowers that we wanted and that we thought would do well in Puerto Rico. And it started. We just get these containers, you put soil, plant the seeds according to the directions, and then you water the seedlings occasionally, but mostly what you do is hang out and talk about how amazing nature is, because it happens on its own. So while we were waiting for those seedlings to grow, we went about setting up the land. And that really was probably some of the most fun that we had. Because then it's everybody working together, you're using these new tools, you're out in the sun, and then you drink cold beer together afterwards, of course. So what we did is these boxes, which are raised beds because of the issue of soil quality, particularly with the sand in Puerto Rico, and it really facilitates the whole process. We are making our own soil through compost, but that takes time. So when we wanted to get started, we had to go look for this soil. And we found out that the University of Puerto Rico has this giant organic compost pile. And it's really good quality soil, they're really nice people to deal with. And it was one of the things that we found out about happening in Puerto Rico that none of us had any idea, and really re-inspired us. The most amazing thing was that in 6 weeks from those seedlings, we were eating from the garden. We used no chemicals, we used no pesticides, no special treatment, no idea what we're doing. Water and sunshine, and like magic, this is what you got. So far, we've had 87 varieties of fruits, vegetables, and herbs that we've had from the garden. You know, hemos quedado pero súper impresionados de lo que se puede cosechar en Puerto Rico fácilmente. Y disfrutamos de muchas cosas que aquí no se consiguen en el supermercado, pero en 2 meses en un jardín, it's unbelievable. So, with that experience, we have this proof that you can grow good, nutritious food in Puerto Rico. Which comes back to this. hear all the time about 80% of the food is imported. It is not necessary. Farming is hard work, but you're building something together, and that's the foundation of the community. And those shipping vessels, they become invisible. You stop seeing them. You don't miss people when they're just jumping for joy. You always notice it. And everybody who visits the garden leaves happy. It's this amazing diversity of people. Yeah, people are curious, who are coming for educational purposes, who want to get some exercise, go to the sun, just share. But it's really wild how varied it is and how happy everybody leaves. Of course, some of the most inspiring of the garden friends are kids. When kids come and see how vegetables grow, it opens their minds. And all of a sudden, a carrot tastes good. And they see that it's fun and how easy it is to grow. And then they go home and they talk about it. And really, I think, that's a true revolution when you begin it that way. Gardening gets talked a lot about as this grassroots movement, which is funny because it is something that's always existed. But I think why it's this growing trend also is that once you start it and you see just how amazing it is, you want to tell everybody. So I tried it, and all of a sudden I'm telling all you strangers, garden, it's easy, but it's so inspiring and wonderful. So gardens are about growing, but they grow a lot more than plants. Some seeds in the concrete can change our communities for the better. Above, we've done it. If you're interested, I know you can do it too. There's many resources available. There's all these new friends.